Hi, it's Dana Cornelius coming to you directly from my kitchen. It doesn't mean I'm necessarily hungry or I'm trying to get you to eat. It has nothing to do with that. I have a beautiful view outside my kitchen window of a huge park, and I get to watch people play with their children and kick balls and run with their dogs, and it's just blissful. I don't know if I could ever go back into the office. All right, I digress. I'm here to talk about moving on, okay? You hear that phrase a lot, I moved on, or someone will say, oh, just move on, or he moved on, she moved on. What does it mean to move on? What does that feel like? Because, is this just something like a switch that you flip and go, oh, I'm just gonna move on now? I don't really think so. Okay, so here's my breakdown about moving on, okay? It's something that we all wish we could do at a flip of a switch, but I'm afraid our emotions just don't work that way. When we have an attachment, and we get attached to people that we've never even met. Say we've been talking to someone online, and we really like them, and we hope. So now, in that hope, we're creating an attachment. And say that person doesn't reciprocate, right? Our feelings or our hope, and they just sort of disappear. Well, that can kind of hurt sometimes. So we need to move on. But it's hard because we're like, damn, I really liked everything about this person. Why didn't he ask for my phone number? Or why did he ask for my phone number, but he didn't call? Come on. So there's a ton of videos I just described in that last sentence, and we're going to get to those later. But today it's all about trying to move on, moving on, okay? Let's keep it really simple. Moving on needs two attributes: acceptance and integration or re-engagement. Now, you can have two happening at the same time, and you can have them completely separated, and you can still be considered moved on. So let's say there's been a breakup or a disappointment of the extreme nature, like you have an ice cream cone and the scoop fell and all you're left is the cone. That's extreme disappointment. You get my feelings? Okay. So you haven't really moved on until you've accepted, right? You've accepted it. So when do you know when you've accepted it? When the thoughts don't come in without an invitation. When those thoughts aren't taking up any real estate in your brain matter. That's when you've accepted it. And that's when you're in a perfect place to move on, to reintegrate. Okay, now you've also moved on when you've reintegrated, right? You're dating someone else now. Look, moving on in the reintegration part doesn't necessarily mean you've accepted the loss of the previous person. In fact, those are tricky circumstances. And I tell you, every one of us has encountered someone who isn't over the previous person, your predecessor. Okay, so that's a very tricky situation, and we just need to get better and better at practicing discernment. So yeah, you can move on and not have fully accepted the previous loss. Not the best place to be. You're trying to make the new person be a replacement for the old. That just doesn't work that way. You need some alone time. And I did discuss this in one of my earlier videos. Have acceptance and then re-engagement. Now, the optimal environment is when you've done both, really. You've accepted and you've moved on. And that's the best place to be in terms of creating another beautiful relationship, or just one to begin with, for starters. So now, I'd like to end with this. Moving on can be just acceptance, and that should be enough. Okay? Moving on doesn't necessarily mean that you're in another relationship. Moving on means, or with someone else. Moving on could be, I got the relationship going on with me, yours truly, and that's enough. Look, don't be in any rush. If you want to hold on to those feelings of sadness or disappointment, then go for it. Just don't do it for too long, okay? You got to start living your life again. And believe me, they always come back. I got another video about that too. So, hey, you guys have a great day. Thanks for watching and subscribing and doing all that stuff. I really appreciate it. My movie's coming out within a couple weeks, and I can't wait to show it to you guys. I'm gonna have a trailer to show you first. And anyway, drop me a comment maybe in the section below, and maybe talk about your own experience about moving on. Maybe you have a different definition, a different perception of that phase. I'd love to hear it. Hey, I'm gonna sign off, and please do something loving for yourself today, okay? Go for a walk, sit, meditate, say a prayer, brush your hair, take a shower, take a jacuzzi, take a sauna. There's so many things you can do to pamper yourself and make yourself feel loved, okay? Because you're important. Bye.